Sturge-Weber syndrome is the association between a foreign birthmark on the upper part of the face, the forehead and eye, with abnormal blood vessels in the eye and or the brain. It's a spectrum disorder, meaning that the same mutation can cause abnormal blood vessels in just the eye, just the skin, just the brain, or all of those.
When Rainey was born, she had the birthmark on her face, as you can see. And the doctor said it looked like she had a rough ride through the birth canal. It looks like she has some bruising, it should go away. Well, when they got her cleaned up, we got to the room and the on-call pediatrician came by the room and he matched on her face and said, no, that's not a bruise, that's a port wine stain, a birthmark. Only 1 in 3,000 babies that are born with the birthmark actually have Sturge-Weber syndrome. So he said, it's very unlikely, but you do need to have an MRI of the brain to see.
She was almost 5 months old, and every time she would go to her pediatrician visits for well checkups, they would say, has she had a seizure? My answer is no. What's that look like? Oh, you'll know. That's all they ever would tell me. In hindsight, I wish I would have Googled it. What do seizures look like in babies? Surely there was something on there, I don't know. But I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have been given more information of what it might look like. Because as most people probably are, unless you know someone with seizures, you really don't know what to look for.
I was mowing my parents' yard up across the street, and my wife called me and said, you need to get home, I think she's having a seizure. And so I got home and she had a 25-minute seizure, her first episode that she ever had.
After that, I always lived in fear of, am I missing something? Because I think I did miss something. I think she had seizure activity the week or two before the big one, because there was something that was just off.
There was a lot of nervousness, just what to expect. Of course, it was something that like she said, is so rare. We have not, heard anything about it. So we immediately just got on, started Googling and trying to get answers and searching, for doctors that, had worked with this syndrome. And so just trying to get answers, a lot of questions. And that's how through that process, when we were in the hospital, that's how we came across Dr. Comey.
We have been working on this for over 20 years now and have had a center that patients come to from all over the country and from other countries. We also work with other centers in the United States to coordinate research to better understand how to diagnose, treat, prevent Sturge-Weber syndrome.
When she got the initial diagnosis and we were looking at all of the medical that was coming up, the school did several fundraisers to support us in that endeavor, and we appreciate all the love and support that was shown during that time.
We are averaging between $2,500 and $3,500 per year that is directly given to Mr. and Mrs. LaPratt, and that really is a drop in the bucket of their expenses that they have, medical expenses, but it just helps with their travel expenses. Because for a long time they were going to, I believe, Pennsylvania like every month, so that's what was helping pay for those things.
So we've had 2 fun runs. In the first year, I think we were able to send $40,000. And then this year, I think we'll probably be able to send in 38. And so just a little under what we did last year. But for the small community that we're in, for the rarity of this disease, because a lot of people, when you see other fundraising efforts, like say for breast cancer or, other things that are more common, it's easier to get up and support that because you probably know someone that was affected with it. But with this rare disease, I think it's a huge amount to be able to send, not only from a small town, but just with the second year of having the fun run, to be able to send to Kennedy per year. I mean, I'm blown away with the amount who've been able to send so far.
Funding can come and go, but it's been the dedication of families that have worked with us that have helped to maintain that funding over time. Families, communities getting behind fundraising efforts like the LaPrades have done and the community. I mean, it's just amazing. So the amount of funding that they are providing for us, provides a significant portion of what we raise.
And Dr. Comey suggested that she thought she would be a good candidate for a potential surgery, a hemispherotomy, which is where they disconnect the side of the brain where the seizures are firing from. So the surgery that they recommended, the hemispherotomy, they can do that through a craniotomy where they open the whole brain up, but they can also do it endoscopically, which is a little bit less invasive from the outside of the brain going in. And the group in Detroit was kind of the group that pioneered this surgery, doing it endoscopically back in 2014, 2015. And so that's why we kind of zeroed in on that group. They did say that she is a good candidate for surgery and feel like that it would be good for us to move forward with that. So we're looking at her having that surgery done at the 1st of June.
The more people that know about it, maybe the more funds that can be raised, maybe the more research that can happen, and maybe one day they can, find more ways to help cure it. That would be great, but more ways to live with it.